There once was a princess, and her favorite toy was this golden ball that she always played with. And one day she went over by this pond and she was throwing this ball into the air and catching it. But she accidentally threw it into the pond. She got very sad because it was her favorite toy. Then all of a sudden a frog popped out of the water and said, "Princess, why are you crying?" And so she told the frog about how her ball went in the water. And he told her, "Well, I don't want your jewels, I don't want your money, but if you promise to love me, then and let me sleep in your bed and eat your food, then I will go get your ball for you." And so the princess thought, "Well, I don't want to love this frog. That's gross. But he can't get out of his water, so might as well." So she agreed. And the frog got her ball and she ran off. And he called after her, "Youngest daughter of the king, why are you running away from me? Don't you know what you said to me?" And she ran off. And the next day she heard some plops up the steps and a knock at the door. She opened up the door and saw the frog and shut it in his face. And he said, "Open up the door, my princess dear, open up the door to thy true love here, and mind the words that thou and I said by the fountain cool in the greenwood shade." And she ran back to the table because she did not want it. And her father asked why she was so afraid. And she told him, "It's just this ugly frog, and I promised that I would be his companion so that he would get my ball. But I didn't think he could come out of the water, and now I don't want to do it anymore." But the father said, "Daughter, you promised. You have to go through with it." And once again the frog said, "Open up the door for me. Don't you know what you said yesterday to me down by the well? Youngest daughter of the king, open up the door for me." And so the daughter opened up the door and let the frog in. And she sat back down on her chair, and the frog told her, "Please pick me up and put me on the chair so I can sit next to you." And she didn't want to, but the king made her because she promised. So she picked up the slimy frog and put him on her chair. And then he said, "Please move your plate closer so I could eat some." And she was hungry, so she wanted that food. But the king made her, so she let the frog eat as much as he wanted, and then she finished her food. And then when she went to go to bed that night, he said, "Please take me with you so I can sleep in your bed." And the thought of that gross, slimy frog in her bed disgusted her, but the king made her. So she took the frog to her room and put him in the bed. And they went to sleep. And that morning, when she looked over, she was expecting to see this slimy frog. But instead, in his place was a handsome prince. And he looked at her and said, "You have broken my spell by giving me love and being my companion. So now I would like to love you. Please marry me." And she agreed, and her father agreed, and she went back to his kingdom with him, and they lived happily ever after.